Martin, we're halfway through the school year, effectively, with the half-term right upon us, and not a bad time to reflect on where we are. And I know you're not one for blowing your own trumpet or blowing the school's trumpet, as it were, but we're in a pretty good state at the moment, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so. It's been a really, it's felt like a really long half-term because we've had a number of significant kind of hurdles to get over. But I don't allow myself this very often, do I? I was talking to the governors last night. I had a governors meeting. I think Lipson's in as good a state as it's ever been during my time here. So that's coming from me is I guess I must mean it. And there's a number of reasons why I say that. We've had a number of bits of kind of external validation that have come in the last 6 weeks that all kind of triangulate, all add up to saying, actually, we're doing something right. So since Christmas, we've had our summer results validated at GCSE and A-level. So we kind of knew they were the best the school's ever had, but when you start applying context to these results and you start comparing us with schools nationally, it puts us in the top 10% of schools for serving similar communities and catchments. So yeah, even I have to be pleased with that, I think. But it's only where we are now. Obviously, we still want to carry on improving. We had the school review, which we talked about during the last vlog. 10, 12 people wandering around the school for a couple of days. You can't hide much from that many people. But they did it really nicely. They did it with us rather than to us, and we've now had the report in, and it's really glowing. It's really positive in terms of what they saw. So that was nice. And then we've had loads of visitors. We've hosted a couple of network meetings for the trust. One for the deputy heads, primary and secondary. I think there are about 30 odd in that day, and then the sixth form leaders as well. They came on different days, but again, they walked around the school, they toured the school, they talked to the kids, they went in classrooms, and they were blown away as well by what we're doing. I loved the summary from one of the trust executive leaders actually, and she said, if I could sum up Lipson, it seems to me that what you do is love and results. And I have never thought of it that way, but I think that sums up what we're trying to do quite nicely. So definitely take that one. Then finally, we just had a parent survey results come back. And I always thank the parents. Your support since I arrived at Lipson on day one has been unequivocal, really. But the survey results suggest that the bulk of our parents are still very much on board, like what we're doing, and just continue to kind of encourage us to try and get better. So, even I'm prepared to say I think it's been a really good half term. And then the second thing I'm always going to say is, and that's because of the staff that we've got. It starts with my leadership team, who just get better and better. But it permeates all the way through the school, and it's all staff. It's support staff, it's kitchen staff, it's the cleaning staff, it's everybody who works at Lipson are starting to pull in the same direction, and I just it's just an honour, really, privilege to be the head teacher of the school and to lead such a fabulous group of people every day.
You set a very high bar for yourself now, and it's important to stay there or even go over it. Obviously, nothing stops, does it? Because you've had this, it all carries on.
And that challenge is an interesting one, isn't it? I'm restless. I think that's the word. I'm restless. I always want it to be better, but we're now into trying to make little marginal gains to try and look. I find that quite exciting. So we never get complacent about where we are and what we're doing. But it's nice now to be looking at little things to change, just to try and make little improvements here, there and everywhere. But we'll carry on doing that because we will never kind of rest on our laurels, as it were.
And why do we do it? We do it because we want the children to be the best that they can be.
Yeah, and thanks for that, because before I get carried away with where we're going, that is exactly why we do it. Our core purpose is about changing the life chances of the youngsters on this estate, in our community. We want them to be thinking about their dream job, and we want to do everything we can over 5 and 7 years to help them achieve that. And that's why we're here. And increasingly our staff get that. They know why they're here. That's why they want to be here. And I think collectively, when you've got 200 people working towards that kind of shared goal, it starts to pay dividend, I think.
When you mention dream jobs, I don't think we can let this vlog pass without mentioning Dylan Jones, who has signed for Norwich City Football Club. You might say it's a wrong club, but but
I'm not going to get into club politics, you know that.
But it's a fantastic opportunity for him. And the thing about Dylan is that, you know, he has, and I know his mother posted on our social media about how grateful she is for what Lipson's done for him. He came through sixth form, and he has got a fledgling career as a professional footballer. So you can do two things at once.
Yeah, and that dream job means lots of young people think about being a professional footballer. A lot of our girls are getting really close now at Argyle, places that they're doing really well. But Dylan's a great story. He won't thank me for this, but I remember during COVID, I remember getting him and his group together as a group of year 10 or 11, telling them that they were the next group that had to go and isolate. They were in a bubble. I remember him crying. He did it quietly, and I didn't make a big deal of it, but that's how much coming to school meant to him. He said, I can't cope with another 6 weeks at home, you know. But yeah, he's turned into a fabulous young man. He came in to see us last week. He didn't come to see me. He came to see people like Kev, me and Stu and Mitchell, but it was lovely to talk to him. He's just grown into a lovely young man, and now he's a professional footballer at Norwich City, and we just wish him all the best. And I'm hoping we'll have a signed shirt in a couple of years hanging in our reception. But let's see.
You wish him all the best, except when he plays Sheffield Wednesday.
Of course, of course.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.